Good morning. This is Pastor Brian. Today we will be reading chapter 38 as we have been reading a chapter from Job a day. I will be reading from the Common English Bible. Feel free to listen or read along in your own favorite translation. Chapter 38, God Responds. Then the Lord answered Job from the whirlwind. Who is the darkening counsel with words lacking knowledge? Prepare yourself like a man. I will interrogate you, and you will respond to me. Where were you when I laid the earth's foundations? Tell me if you know. Who set its measurements? Surely you know. Who stretched a measuring tape on it? On what were its footings sunk? Who laid its cornerstone, while the morning stars sang in unison and all the divine beings shouted? Who enclosed the sea behind doors, when it burst forth from the womb? And when I made the clouds its garment, the dense clouds its wrap? When I imposed my limit for it, put on a bar and doors, and said, You may come this far, no farther. Here your proud waves stop. In your lifetime, have you commanded the morning, informed the dawn of its place, so that it would take hold of earth by its edges and shake the wicked out of it? Do you turn it over like clay for a seal, so it stands out like a colorful garment? Light is withheld from the wicked, the uplifted arm broken. Have you gone to the sea's sources, walked in the chamber of the deep? Have death's gate been revealed to you? Can you see the gates of deep darkness? Have you surveyed earth's expanses? Tell me if you know everything about it. Where's the road to the place where light dwells? Darkness, where it's located. Can you take it to its territory? Do you know the paths to its house? You know, for you were born then. You have lived such a long time. Have you gone to snow's storehouses, seen the storehouses of hail that I have reserved for a time of distress, for a day of battle and war? What is the way to the place where light is divided up, the east wind scattered over earth? Who cut a channel for the downpours, and a way for blasts of thunder to bring water to uninhabited land, a desert with no human to saturate dry wasteland and make grass sprout? Has the rain a father who brought forth drops of dew? From whose belly does ice come? Who gave birth to heaven's frost? Water hardens like stone, the surface of the deep thickens. Can you bind Pleiades' chains or loosen the reins of Orion? Can you guide the stars at their proper times, lead the bear with her cubs? Do you know heaven's laws, or can you impose its rule on earth? Can you issue an order to the clouds so their abundant waters cover you? Can you send lightning so that it goes and then says to you, I'm here? Who put wisdom in remote places? Or who gave understanding to a rooster? Who is wise enough to count the clouds? And who can tilt heaven's water containers so that dust becomes mud and clods of dirt adhere? Can you hunt prey for the lion or fill the craving of lion cubs? They lie in their den, lie in ambush in their lair. Who provides food for the raven when its young cry to God, move about without food? So that's the end of chapter 38, the first response that God has to Job and everyone sitting there. So God responds in the very first, in the entire chapter, by basically explaining to Job and to everyone that God made it all, that God commands it all, that God is the one who has been here since the foundations. God is the one who created the form of the earth and made the sea stop where the sea stops, and made the rain go where the rain needed to go, and that God has these storehouses like people do of hail and of rain and of all of this abundance, and that God sends it where it needs to be sent, and God takes care of all of the animals that are on the earth, and that God is the one who helps move the stars in the sky. And can anyone else do that? What an amazing image for God to just say, look, I really am above and beyond everything else in this world. God, I think, is establishing God's great awe that people should have, and God's greatness above all the earth, and that no one has lived long enough to know any of this from its beginnings or to whenever it ends. That God has established and created and continues to bring all of these things to our world. So God, in this courtroom, I guess, as Job has wanted it to happen, has established God's vast majesty over everything. So what did you hear in that? Did you hear that? Did you hear more? Did you hear something a little different? Write it down, share it with a friend, share it with us, and what an interesting and wonderful way for God to start his courtroom, his conversation with Job. So let's wait with anticipation for tomorrow to see what God has to say next. Stay safe, take care, and God bless.